this little miniature ball top hit and miss engine. I call it a ball top because it looks like a ball. This is where you put the water, because it's water cooled. You can put antifreeze or coolant, whatever you want to put in there. As long as it cools, that will do the job. I got this from a really cool place called the Engine DIY Shop. It's made by Retro. I think that's supposed to be a bit like retro, but with an L on the end. I wasn't really quite sure what to expect to start with, but when it turned up, I was absolutely amazed. It is actually really well built. The workmanship is incredible. I've already done them, because this was sent to me as a sponsor to review. I've already done all of that, but I can't stop being amazed of how good it is. I really wasn't expecting it to be this good. It's fantastic. And there is a link in the description to this video and the other videos of it if you'd like to go and have a look and possibly buy one for yourself. By using that link, it does help me out, because it tells the DIY shop, the Engine DIY Shop, that you've come from me, and it may secure me future engines to review and bring to you lot. But this is amazing. The petrol goes in there, real unleaded petrol goes in that tank, water goes in there, oil goes in this little oil cup, and you can adjust how much oil is fed into the cylinder. That's the exhaust. This is obviously one of the two flywheels. This is a clockwise engine. There's oil on it, slippery. That's the carburetor. That's the fuel screw. That is the spark plug. Oh, I've got oily fingers. The ignition is, or the points, I suppose, are down there. Little gear there to activate the little valve. On and off switch for your ignition. Inside this little storage box, you just put an AA battery, and there's a CDI down in there, and the AA battery powers the CDI, which gives it spark. Real spark from a real spark plug. They do sell little things that you can attach to these generators and other bits and bobs, but you can get loads of stuff from other places as well, or make your own. Put the belt around there and it'll power quite a lot. Now that I've been running this for quite some time, the other day I left it running outside. I didn't realise how long I'd left it running for, but it was actually running for an hour, just sitting there, just merrily going along by itself, and I hadn't realised a whole hour had elapsed. Now that it's getting ran in, it's actually got quite a lot of power. When I first ran it, if I just touched the flywheel, it would stop, but now I can really grab onto it and get some grip on it, and it still keeps going. It wants to fight me. There is some power in there. I reckon it'll power quite a hefty generator, and when I say hefty, I obviously mean within retrospect to the size of the engine. I reckon we'll be able to hook a generator to it that will be able to cope with maybe an amp or two, maybe 3 amps. I reckon we'll be able to power something quite exciting with it. I have got a plan of what I'm going to do. So my plan is I'm going to power a CB radio with it, and maybe a small amplifier. I've just got to find a generator that can take that amount of amperage at 12 volts and that is light enough that this little engine can power it. I've got several ideas. This is going to be a cold start. This engine hasn't run for a couple of days. The temperature outside is about 10 degrees Celsius. Gives itself a little rev now and again to warm up. Very close to running out of petrol. It's getting quite erratic, but that's okay. I'd like to run it out anyway. I've been keeping all the little bits oiled with a bit of 3-in-1 because that's what I use on my steam engines, so I use it on this as well. I'll turn it off so that you can hear what I'm saying. It's got little oiling ports down there, or whatever you'd like to call them, on either side to oil up the bearings for that. I have put a little bit of oil on those gears, but a bit too much came out, so there's a lot of oil on there now. For that, I like to use this stuff because it doesn't fling off like 3-in-1 or other oil would do. It's designed for chains, and I like to use that on gears that go round. It may be that some of you will go, no, you never use that, but I don't really care because it does the job, and it does oil up those gears, and it hasn't caused me any issues as yet, apart from I put too much on. But the good thing is it doesn't fling around. What a fantastic little engine. I thought I'd show you that in slightly more detail than previous, because it definitely deserves it. Thanks for watching, you lot. And I'll quickly show you. It's somewhere around here. There it is. This is my Mammoth, whatever they call it. I forget what it was actually called now. Mammoth something or another. And the story goes with this. This was my cousin's. He died a long time ago, but he left this behind, and it was given to me as a kid, and I had great fun using it, making it drive up and down the path and that kind of stuff. But then I put it in a box. I had loads of other steam stationary engines and things, and I put quite a lot of them in boxes, and I've since got rid of pretty much all of them. But this one, sentimental value, so I put it in a box to keep, and kept it in the shed. But unfortunately it wasn't quite as sealed as I thought it was, and yeah, it's more or less completely rusted away, which is a great shame, and it's quite sad for me because I was hoping to be able to fire this up, but the piece of glass for the boiler, so you can see how much water you got in there, fell out because it rusted away. The whistle still operational, but whether it will actually work I don't know. Everything seems to be okay. The cylinder, the piston even, isn't seized. Don't know what the boiler condition of the boiler is now, but the firebox has definitely seen better days. I have got the little tray what goes in there, but it's unfortunate because it won't hold water anymore because that little sight glass is gone. Yeah, so that's very sad for me. Maybe one day I'll restore it, but the problem being Mammoth are now dead themselves. They've completely gone out of business. So these little traction engines are rare. You can't buy them brand new apart from old stock. So yeah, getting parts for it would be quite difficult. But perhaps I'll clean it up. I can't believe how much it's decayed being inside a cardboard box in a shed. I mean, it was all taped up. I thought it would have been okay. The box itself was alright, but it is what it is. So there are other stationary engines that I've got that I want to fish out, and we will do a small series on steam as well as these old engines. And believe it or not, there will be at some point, probably next year, some proper full-sized stationary engines on this channel. I just need to get around to fishing them out and getting them running. But we'll be doing all that. We'll be getting them running, we'll be fishing them out, we'll be fishing them out before we get them running, and we'll be doing all that kind of stuff. So I love stationary engines. It's just finding the time to mess around with them. But these little model ones are bloody fantastic. And to be fair, it's kind of sparked my interest again in getting the real ones up and running. I'll catch you a lot later on. Thanks for watching. I thought it would be a nice little brief hello. And having a look at that. See you later.